The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
Wine Vault Radio with Jason Bryant from winevaulttv.com.
Oh gosh, it's been another week and we're on the verge of a long weekend.
I know, Queen's birthday weekend.
Yeah.
Except I don't know when her real birthday is.
No idea. I think it's July. Probably wrong. Got no idea. We never seem to actually hear about her birthday very much.
No. Mind you, when you get
How
to
old
80,
is she?
83, 84.
She's getting on.
Yeah, she is getting on. Time for her to resign.
You reckon?
Yeah, throw in the rag.
The only way to resign is to pass away, die. What happens if they get really senile and stuff?
Well, I don't think they've got that.
They don't have that in their
usually kind of
genes.
abdicate or
Well, they do have that in their genes. They've had some pretty senile
or get
rules.
beheaded.
Yeah.
Or there's a revolution of some description to remove them from power.
Yeah.
Or from their position of reign of England.
We were just saying off air there that I reckon I'd like to see Charles at the top.
So would I. A lot of people see him as a kind of bumbling buffoon, but I think that he was a visionary, really, for Britain, and especially green aspects of modern living.
Well ahead of his time.
Well ahead of his time. Everybody in Britain who were kind of really got caught up with the consumerist nature of kind of living in Britain, he was. Well, they viewed him as the buffoon, but really, kind of, he was into kind of preservation of architecture and organics and preservation of green space.
He's got a really good understanding and good grounding in biodiversity and that kind of thing. And
Well, it's
loves
what
his
money
gardening.
affords you the luxury of being able to do, I guess.
Yeah. Idle time.
Yeah, idle time, idle hands. But I mean, if I had that money, I'd be a big kind of philanthropist as well. Jeez, I struggled with that word at the start. And because you've got the time, you've got the money to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And you don't necessarily have to bring evil on the world.
No, you don't.
When you've got that much money.
But it's tempting.
$1 million.
It's Queen's birthday weekend.
Yep.
Let's just say she looks at the map, she looks at the Commonwealth, and she says, "Woo! I'm not gonna
I haven't been down there lately."
And then she says, "I want to celebrate around at Jason's house."
Yes.
That's someone saying, "Just shut up, you guys."
Yeah, probably.
And she comes out and says, "I want to celebrate around at your house, my birthday. I'm giving you 10 minutes to prepare, and I'm around there very soon. Get the old
And you have to supply everything.
Yeah, you have to, because I'm bringing nothing,
Yep.
even though I'm rich as.
Exactly.
The old bat is coming round. What are you going to do? How are you going to impress the Queen, Jason?
First of all, hoover, and probably give her a real sense of kind of that we are modern. So I'd paint the inside of the house because she expects every building she goes in to be smelling of fresh paint.
Yes.
I expect.
Yeah. And lots of people in front of her going.
Yeah, and some roses. I'd be
Yeah.
out in the garden picking all the petals of the roses to throw on the floor in
Yeah.
front of her, and then I would bring her through to the dining room.
Yeah.
With her entourage and escorts, and I'd say, "Here, Queenie." Well, actually, that sounds more like my wife to me.
Would you bow? I mean, she's coming to your house.
Suppose
you've got to bow,
I
I
feel
suppose.
that you're probably obligated to bow,
Yeah.
or you'll be beheaded.
Yeah.
And then I would say, "What do you fancy to drink? Cup of tea? Cup of tea, love, eh? Eh?"
No, but it's her birthday. She really wants to. She really wants to let her hair down, so to speak, and celebrate.
Then I would have to rush out and get some bubbles.
Yeah.
Ironically, the segue
Yes. Into what you've got here
into
today.
what I've got today.
Now, because she would be used to champagne,
Oh, geez, yeah.
expensive, very
Yeah.
expensive. We're talking hundreds of dollars per bottle,
Sometimes thousands, I expect.
thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll have
pounds
an
per bottle.
extensive cellar.
Yeah, I actually, that's a very good point. I've never really investigated what the Queen's cellar has, or whether she has one at all, or whether other places have her cellar for her.
I'm sure she does, underneath the palace.
You'd expect so. I mean, it was built in the times when when they built cellars into buildings.
Yeah.
But it'd be great, a tour of the cellar of the Queen. What a great little
Wouldn't that
TV
be
opportunity
great?
for me.
Yeah.
I can see me doing that.
You can't. Do they do tourist things? Do you get to? You don't. You only can stand outside the palace, can't you? You
Yeah,
can't-
and wave.
Yeah.
Wave at someone whose house you own
Yeah.
and paid for. And
There's a rather odd thing, the whole monarchy thing.
But I'll tell you
Think about
what,
it.
for me, despite... Oh, she wants to go.
All right, she wants to go. Let her go. Let her rip. Oh,
Oh.
nice. Very nice. So, but by the way, what do we have there? We haven't seen
We've
what we
got
have to impress the
Deutz.
Queen. Deutz.
Methode traditionnelle, right? Because of the allegiance and alliance between Deutz, the House of Deutz Champagne,
Yeah.
which does exist in Champagne, and its Marlborough equivalent, which is said to be of equal standard and quality, but
Can't be called champagne.
can't be called Champagne because it's grown outside the area of Champagne, which I actually agree with. You know, we can't rob everything
No.
and make it our own and capitalise on the hard work of others for so long. So, yeah, I'm quite happy calling it Methode, and most of it doesn't actually taste like champagne.
But you're saying that this is said to be of equivalent quality.
Yeah.
And yet would probably be what, hundreds of dollars cheaper, or
No, it's
within
probably the base level non-vintage, which this would be equivalent to, would probably be, from memory, about $90 to $100.
right.
So this is $30, so it's a third of the cost.
Yeah.
But in Champagne, you've got to hand pick your grapes, so your labour costs go up.
Okay.
You've got only a small size where you can actually grow in Champagne to call it Champagne,
Yeah.
as well as here you can...
How big is champagne? Do we know?
Hectares-wise, I have no idea.
But equivalent size of somewhere in New Zealand? Is it as big as Marlborough?
I would think that it's bigger than Marlborough.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's sizable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there are quite a few small growers, and then you've got the large champagne houses dotted around, A and Rem and or Ron, as they call it,
Yeah.
with that French accent.
Ron.
Ron. And A, and a few other little villages dotted around, but they're the two famous ones. And they produce a lot of champagne. A lot of champagne.
Well, they've got to supply the world's demand for the name.
We've
I
got a
suppose.
thirst,
Yeah.
and a lot of other countries have an equal or better thirst,
Yeah.
like the Poms.
Yeah.
They have a big thirst for champagne. It's also closer, the proximity between England and France, and kind of really enables the people of England to go to Champagne more easily than what we can. So there's an affinity there between Champagne and
Jason,
the Poms. Yeah.
you're keeping the Queen waiting.
Oh, sorry, yes. Here we are, my lady, ma'am.
Mom.
Cheers, Wammo, to the Queen's birthday.
Do we
Being
wanna-
such a royalist
Do
today.
we want to make sure the Queen gets her nose in there first?
Yeah, she gets her nose in there. Oh, I've
Yeah.
got a bit of lemon kind of soap.
Do you think the Queen does get nose, or she just chucks it straight back? She probably chucks it straight back, doesn't she?
At the
Anything to get through the tiresome long day.
Getting up
Dinners,
at 9
all the
or
boring
10
people.
o'clock.
Yeah.
You'd like to get up after if I was the Queen or the King, I'd get up after everybody had gone to work, because that's one of the luxuries, right? You don't want to get up when the common people
No.
are getting up, and so that you feel like you are one of them. You're in an elevated position. You want to be above them, so you get up after, and you go to bed after them. Or maybe you can go to bed before, with your glass of champagne.
Do whatever you want. I reckon she's got a wee hip flask of whiskey next to the bed. She has a swig of that as soon as she gets up. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, another day.
This will see me through the day. What do I've got to see? Oh, not the Prime Minister again.
All right, you've just handed her a flute of champagne, though.
Yep.
of bubbly.
Yeah.
Methode.
I almost get that lemon. Do you know that fake artificial lemon soap? That's what I get off the top of this nose.
That'll be the dishwasher.
Lemon scented dishwashing powder.
Yeah. But you're right, it is like that.
It's
some
fake.
people are turned off by that, but that's all right with me. It just smells like local bubbly, not.
She's quite tart at the end.
Mm.
One of the things that I do like is the bubbles are quite small, so the mousse in your mouth is not overly generous,
Yeah.
but is very smooth.
Yeah.
And it's only when you swallow that you get some tartness and astringency.
You're right. It's rather gentle, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very gentle.
It doesn't just disappear off the tongue like a really bubbly
No,
one would do.
no, not like a kind of angry youth of Metho Traditional.
It's dry, but not overly dry.
Yeah, there is some sweet there. Usually most champagne has 14 grams of residual sugar per
Yeah.
litre. And so I would imagine that this would be kind of around that mark. If you get really bad fruit, then you put a lot of sugar in and you cover it up that way.
Have we succeeded in impressing the Queen?
You should say that's all right.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, so thanks anyway for celebrating.
Thank
I'll,
you, Jason.
I'll just move on to the next house where they do real champagne.
Yeah, see ya.
See ya!
And then the guillotine. Oh, no, they did that in France, didn't they?
Well, Henry used to
pay
just behead people.
some tax on the way out.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks so much, Jason.
My pleasure, Wammo. Happy Queen's birthday.
You too.